I'm a little shocked at some of the things that have been said. I'm going to go to the concept of a citizen legislator and what that has meant in our history. That's what our founding fathers said. Guess what? They all needed to be white men who owned property, not women, not people of color, not people who had actual other family responsibilities, but if you were a property-owning member of the original Congress, you were a wealthy person. Then I've heard attacks on wealthy people who might want to be here. I've heard attacks on people who don't have jobs who want to be here. The only thing that matters to be here is that you care about the state, you are a citizen, and you have convinced people that they ought to vote for you to represent them. Each of us in this room has met those standards, and yet so much more. But what I'm particularly concerned about is the statement that if we raise our salaries, we are somehow doing a disservice to our constituents. If we don't get the best and brightest to want to run for office, to be willing to put in the time and the hours on behalf of our constituents, who are willing to fight out the very hard fights, and many of you listed critical issues to you and to us, and I'm not going to spend my time today saying, well, actually, we did a lot of good things in the previous session that I'm very proud of on behalf of our constituents, and the voters put us back to do more in the next 2 years. And they decided, even though some of these were political speeches, that they would actually re-elect a Democratic majority to continue to work on their behalf with our Republican colleagues. But the assignment today is to make sure that people can both do these jobs with honor, integrity, not corruption, and also be able to pay their rent and feed their children and take care of themselves. And I believe, hopefully, to not have to do a second job that might take them away from their responsibilities as a senator. And I'm not worried that people who have no skin in the game will be the ones rushing forward into the legislature, because with all due respect, if the only thing you can imagine doing to make money is to join the New York State Senate, you don't have much vision or much talent. We're here for the right reasons. You should want us to actually not be in panic about our paychecks, and you should want us focusing our jobs for our constituents. And I'm confident, looking around this room, that that's exactly what we'll be doing the minute we get back here when the holidays and the new year are over. I'm also, just want to highlight again, the reference to, in Texas, they make $7,000 a year. Well, guess what? In Texas, they're all rich white men who have property. So they haven't even learned a lesson from the original Excuse me?
Name him single.
I was going to say I was going to miss Diane Savino and many of my colleagues who aren't coming back, but she completely threw me off my cadence at a really important point. Shame on you. I am proud that we are doing this. This is not the wrong thing to do. It is actually the right thing to do, not just for ourselves, but for the people coming in, for the people we hope will come in after them, and the people who are thinking about whether they should decide to run for the legislature, whichever party, whichever district. I don't want them saying, I can't do this as much as I'm passionate to do it because I might not actually be able to meet my bills. And I, yes, understand that it is more than the average salary or the median salary for New York State. It's not an average job either. It doesn't even require an average person. It requires a person prepared to be extraordinarily overcommitted to the public good, because anyone who's here for any other reason shouldn't be here, and it has nothing to do with salary. And I, again, encourage each person who said it was an outrage or an embarrassment or shame on us. I can give you the address for Tom DiNapoli's office. You can send him a letter explaining you don't wish the salary raise, and you won't get it. and you can come home and explain to your constituents why your passion about this was so strong you turned down the increase in your salary. I will not be sending that letter. Thank you, Mr. President. I vote aye.